It happened so fast, so quiet, that almost no one noticed. A whisper, a breath, a word that slipped under the radar. My love. 2 words. Soft, fleeting, but they carried the weight of everything Lee Min-ho felt for Kim Go-eun. Fans watching the clip online froze. Their hearts skipped a beat. Their eyes rewound the footage again and again, because they thought they were just seeing a professional, an actor performing his role with grace and charm. But this was different. It wasn't in the script. No director had asked him to say it. No camera cue existed. Yet there was, caught in the hush between lines, like a secret meant only for her. And somehow, the world saw it. The moment had begun innocently enough. They were rehearsing, the cameras off, the crew packed away for the day. Everything was calm, ordinary, routine. But in that calm, Lee Min-ho's heart spoke louder than any script ever could. Kim Go-eun had been there, smiling gently, focused on her lines, completely unaware of the storm that was about to unfold. He watched her, as he always did, with a quiet intensity that no one else could see. And in that quiet, love stirred. He leaned slightly closer, not enough to be noticeable, just enough that she felt the warmth. My love, he whispered, barely audible, a secret carried on a breath. Yet in that single moment, everything shifted. It wasn't about the word itself. It was about what it represented. Every glance, every unspoken gesture, every heartbeat they had shared in silence led to this one admission, even if only she could hear it. But the universe, as it often does, had other plans. A fan had been recording nearby. The clip captured the moment, the faint tremble in his voice, the soft curve of a smile meant only for her. And when the clip went online, the world went silent. People replayed it. Did he just say that? No, it can't be real. Listen again, he said it. Fans began analyzing every frame, every glance, every slight movement, every expression. And suddenly, what was once private became public. Kim Go-eun didn't realize it at first. She had been focused on the script, on the lines, on the next scene, until she heard whispers, until she saw the notifications flooding in. My love. Her heart caught in her chest. Her cheeks burned, because she knew, she always had. Lee Min-ho had never been the type to speak carelessly. Every word he said carried thought, precision, intention. And this was no accident. It was an admission, a confession, a truth whispered in the quiet of a rehearsal, hidden from the world, yet powerful enough to ignite hearts everywhere. The fans speculated endlessly. Some said it was a rehearsal trick. Some said it was the wind. Some refused to believe it. But the ones who truly knew, the ones who understood the chemistry that had been building for months, understood immediately. It was real, because love doesn't always wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't follow rules. It doesn't respect scripts. Sometimes it just appears, quietly, unexpectedly, in the space between 2 lines of dialogue, in the pause between takes, in the fleeting seconds that seem unremarkable. Love speaks. And that was what happened between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. It wasn't loud. It wasn't public. It wasn't dramatic. It was simple. It was honest. It was undeniable. In the days that followed, the clips circulated like wildfire. Fans dissected every gesture, every look, every flicker of expression. They noticed the way Lee Min-ho's eyes softened whenever she laughed. They noticed the slight tilt of his head when he listened to her speak. They noticed the subtle ways he leaned closer without anyone else noticing. And in that quiet observation, fans saw something beautiful, something rare, something real. Kim Go-eun, on the other hand, struggled to process it herself. She had always felt the connection between them, the unspoken bond that no camera could fully capture. But hearing him whisper those words, made the connection undeniable. My love. The phrase echoed in her mind. Sweet, gentle, persistent. It was a bridge between what had been unsaid and what could now be acknowledged. Despite the clip going viral, The two of them remained composed. They didn't announce a relationship. They didn't post about it on social media. They didn't explain. Because sometimes love doesn't need permission. Love doesn't need a statement. Love simply exists. Fans, however, couldn't stop talking. Did he mean it? Is this real? The way he looked at her, no actor would do that for a role. Every theory circulated, every opinion debated, but in the center of it all was the undeniable truth. The world could feel what they had always known. Lee Min-ho himself remained quiet. He never confirmed. He never denied. He simply continued being himself. But for those who watched closely, the evidence was everywhere, in every subtle touch, every lingering glance, every smile shared behind the cameras. It was love, and it was impossible to ignore. Over time, the story became legendary among fans. The whisper, the fleeting moment that revealed everything, the way two hearts could speak without words, without scripts, without permission. It wasn't the most dramatic declaration. It wasn't on stage. It wasn't meant for the world. But it was real, and reality sometimes is more powerful than fiction. Months passed. The clip remained a reference point for fans. They would replay it endlessly. They would analyze it frame by frame. Every time they did, they felt the magic of that whispered phrase. My love, a confession, a promise, a truth too precious to be staged. Behind closed doors, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun continued their journey. They laughed. They worked. They shared quiet moments that no one else could see. But now, the world knew a fragment of their truth, a whisper that had traveled far beyond the walls of a rehearsal studio. It was remarkable how a single phrase could change everything, how two words, uttered softly, could capture hearts, how my love could carry an entire story. And fans realized something important. Love doesn't need announcements. Love doesn't need dramatics. Love doesn't need scripts. Sometimes it only needs truth. And when truth speaks, even the quietest whisper can echo louder than anything else. The clip of Lee Min-ho whispering to Kim Go-eun became iconic. It wasn't just about a celebrity couple. It was about a moment that reminded everyone. Love is real when it's unspoken. Love is authentic when it's shared privately. And love can't be contained. Even now, whenever fans see them together, they remember that whispered confession. My love, two words, a lifetime of meaning, a moment that changed everything. And for Dylan Wong and Shin Yu, or in this story, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, it was never about proving anything to the world. It was about being true to each other. And in that truth, they found something magical. Something that no script, no camera, no headline could ever replicate. Because real love isn't written. It's not rehearsed. It doesn't wait for the perfect scene. It whispers. It lingers. It transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. And that is exactly what happened. The day Lee Min-ho whispered to Kim Go-eun, my love, two words, a confession, a truth that fans will remember forever.